Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. All right, let's get this video started. We're back coming from a different dungeon this time, so I just wanted to say hello. With this video, I just want to give an update. I've been watching all of the preseason games, a lot of rookies and stuff like that. So I wanted to do a breakout player. So mostly first and second year players. Kind of wanted to give you some highs and some guys maybe to go after that I'm liking and that I'm going after. Some of these guys I already drafted a lot of shares of them, but they're showing out well. So I'm just going to kind of go through that, real briefly, and we can do that. So, all right. As you know, if you like any of the information, hit the subscribe button. Throw me a comments. Thank you for the comment in the last video. I appreciate that somebody's actually using the information that I'm putting out there. I do it for myself mostly, but hey, I like it that somebody's actually listening. Makes you feel good. So continue to subscribe and add some comments. Hopefully I can get to do some live videos here shortly. Been working on trying to get the software set up for that. So let's kind of get into this, and I'm just going to break it down mostly by just categories of positions, right? So Bryce Young, basically Young equals yuck. 2 preseason games, I haven't seen a whole lot from him. I mean, my outlook on him is very blurry, fuzzy. Doesn't look like that offensive line can protect anybody, let alone, a midget. So it's going to be very scary. I mean, I'm even to the point where I'm trying to get rid of Thielen and DJ Shark shares just because I don't think that that offensive line is going to give them enough time to do anything. So I think that they might wind up being one of the worst 3 teams in the league. On a side note, maybe you stream the defense, whoever's playing Carolina every week, right? So that's kind of that. As far as other quarterbacks go, we've got, Richardson here. So he's one of the guys who's on the upswing. Obviously, he's going to start also just like Stroud. Stroud's looked better in the second performance. But, he's got, did I say Johnson? Richardson's got it locked down in Indianapolis, right? So he's going to be with the upside and stuff like that. I think that he's going to be pretty decent. He's got the arm. He's got an offensive line to sit behind. He's got the running game. He's got some receivers. So it's going to be a lot easier transition for him than the other guys, right? One other guy that I did like to see in the preseason was Jordan Love, and I liked how he used everybody in the field. He looked pretty competent and confident. Now, is he going to be a world beater? Who knows? I probably doubt it, but he looked like he was competent. So if you're looking for a good backup quarterback, I mean, Jordan Love with some upside could be your guy, right? So definitely somebody who to be there. Also, his backup, the kid from Penn State, he looked pretty dang good. So something to watch out for down the road, depending on what happens, how Love actually does this year, or if he gets hurt. So that's kind of the quarterback breakdown in a nutshell. I mean, Stetson Bennett looked like crap. I mean, Malik Willis was terrible against the Vikings. I mean, when you drop back and 50% of the time you take off and you run, you're not a quarterback, you're a halfback. So why don't you just, I mean, he'd be the second best running back on the team if they just switched him to running back. I don't understand why they just don't do that. He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball to somebody open. He can't throw somebody open. He can't throw on time. It's just make him a running back. It's just that simple. All right. Let's get into the running backs, obviously, right? Bijan had his first game, and he looked very elusive. He looked like the real deal. So it's going to be him and Gibbs, going down the line the way it's supposed to be, So obviously, Bijan is number 1 with a bullet. He's going to get a lot of timeshare. I mean, Algier is also, to me, he's one of the premier handcuffs and the primary handcuff that you want to go after with actual value. So Algier and Bijan, they're going to get a lot of work together. And so you want to go after those guys. With that being said, number 2, Gibbs. I mean, he really hasn't played a whole lot in the preseason. They're saving him, which means they're hiding stuff and they're gonna be working him to death. So he's gonna be a big time player. A lot of receptions, a lot of yardage, long runs too. So Obviously, Gibbs is a guy you want. One of the guys who has impressed me, but I've gotten some few shares, mid to early-ish second round, was the next guy, Tank Bigsby. So he's showing out pretty good. He doesn't have the super flash. I mean, he's just solid. He's everything that everybody's saying that Roshan Johnson is supposed to be. Who he's still playing in the third and fourth quarter as running back 4 or 5 in Chicago. So you Roshan promoters, sorry, it's not happening so far. So we'll see what happens throughout the year. But Tank Bigsby, he's going to be one of the premier handcuffs also as far as that goes in the league with ETN, right? So that's who I would be going after. A couple other guys who I'm not really enthused about. Charbonnet. Zach Charbonnet, White either White, Tampa Bay, or Tampa Bay guys hurt, and Zeus over in for the Raiders, not doing so well. He had a bunch of carries, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He looks like he's playing in Georgia. He's one of the best fullbacks playing halfback in the NFL once again. So they really need Jacobs to get there. I mean, Jacobs takes a touchdown to a house. Zeus gets 11 yards. I mean, that's the difference in the running backs caliber there. So that's what you have there for running backs. Any other guys? Oh, A-Chain. Forgot about the little guy A-Chain. He's down with the shoulder. He has impressed me. He has not impressed me. He's gotten a little work. Haven't noticed him actually. Salvan Ahmed looked better than him. A little bit bigger. A little bit better, actually. A little bit quicker, actually, looked. So not a fan of A-Chain either. So we can continue to roll on here. And so we're going to get into the wide receivers. There's a kid, I forget his name, from New York. He's showing out well. He had 10 receptions or something, second preseason game here. But, I mean, he's going to be wide receiver 5. He's going to make the team. But, he's not a guy that you really want to go after as far as a guy to put on your fantasy roster. Somebody's got to go down there. There's just so many receivers with the Jets. He's just not going to get much of an option playing time. If you start seeing him in the box score and he's getting 4 or 5, targets, go out and get that kid. So other than that, it's basically the wide receivers just really aren't showing anything. Addison's been a little bit nicked up with a concussion and stuff like that. Smith and Jigba's been body catching his way to a couple catches, and Quentin Johnson caught a touchdown playing the backups and stuff like that. So, I mean, the top guys are looking okay. Hyatt got a touchdown. Other than that, he did absolutely nothing. Tillman, not much. I mean, these guys, Rashee Rice did not impress me week 2. He got quite a few catches, but he just looks slow and awkward. The wide receiver class just does not look very good so far. Hopefully there's room for improvement with them. But in this video, we're going to talk about the tight ends. And the tight ends is where it's going to be at. This is where I think right now you can make some money going after and picking up some of these guys. For me, there's 3 tight ends you want. It's obviously Kincaid. It's Laporta. It's Musgrave. Musgrave has jumped all the way up to the number 3 tight end in this class for me, based off of his performance on the first week and with the connection that he has with Love. With that being said, there's somebody that everybody is forgetting, Jake Ferguson in Dallas. He's locked down the number 1 job. Him and Dak have a connection. You're going to expect the same kind of production from him as you would Dalton Schultz. He's a bigger, more athletic version of Dalton Schultz, so he even has more upside. So I predict that Jake Ferguson's going to have 180 plus points this year playing for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think that that's a guy that you definitely want to go out and get. All right. Michael Mayer, I would just flat out pass on him. Watched him with the Raiders. He dropped the ball. His quarterback play isn't going to be fabulous, even though Garoppolo has a history of throwing to tight ends. So that's where I'm going to go with that. And finally, the last position that I'm going to really touch here, and they don't even get a slide, is the kickers. There was a couple kickers drafted early. There are a couple kickers that were signed to nice contracts that were rookies, and they're all missing kicks. They're not looking good. Maybe it's a little Daniel Carlson syndrome that they're actually good kickers, but they're putting too much pressure on themselves. But at this point, I'm just going to stream kickers, and I'm not going to go after that. I mean, I've got a couple shares of Daniel Carlson, and that's about the size of that. So stay away from the rookie kickers until they start making some kicks to make sure that they're actually going to be on a team. I saw quite a few people drafting the San Francisco rookie kicker, and he's definitely missed a couple. Also, the Cleveland rookie kicker got a vote of confidence already from the head coach, so that never is a good sign. So that's going to be the video here. Once again, if you like the content, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me how dumb I am with my takes, and go from there. Until next time, take care.